What's up from Denver? I think that should fix my audio. Wasn't doing too well in that previous video, but we are at Mile High elevation. Denver, Colorado. It's a beautiful day, and wouldn't you know it, 0% chance rain for a 49ers game. And even here in Denver, people with this great weather are upset. They honk at each other. Not too different from the rat race that can be the Bay Area. Anyway, 0% chance of rain. Didn't think that was possible for a 49ers game in this year, 2022. Not after what we saw in Chicago or in Santa Clara for 49ers and Seahawks. But that is the case. It's going to be great weather for Sunday Night Football tonight. Jimmy Garoppolo against Russell Wilson. He's going to be in the spotlight. Both of them. Jimmy Garoppolo especially, I think, from the 49ers point of view. And he was in the spotlight this morning. Adam Schefter reported that the Washington Commanders and the San Francisco 49ers actually had a trade in place, an agreement in place for Jimmy Garoppolo to go over to Washington this past offseason. And that fell apart when Jimmy Garoppolo had the shoulder surgery and wasn't able to throw. And then Ian Rappaport added on to it and said, you know what? The Carolina Panthers and the Indianapolis Colts were interested in Garoppolo too. So finally, we have just confirmation that those of us who were level-headed about this weren't crazy. The hysteria, oh, nobody wants to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, ended up not being true. The fact of the matter was that people wanted to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, but he was hurt. The simplest explanation was the true one. And the shoulder surgery, the 49ers are happy that Jimmy Garoppolo had it. They weren't happy that he had it back then. There's a car with 49ers. Is that Broncos flags? Yeah, that's Niners flags. That's cool. Anyway, you guys know the whole drill. I'll show you a little bit of Denver here. Union Station, that's downtown Denver, not far from Coors Field where the Rockies and the Padres actually just started playing, so we can cross over here. Walk over to lunch in Denver. So anyway, yeah, there was so many just crazy off-the-wall takes this offseason, but the simplest explanation ended up being true, and it was that Garoppolo couldn't throw, and most teams like to trade for quarterbacks who can actually throw. But as far as the crazy assertion that Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't wanted around the league, essentially debunked today because Adam Schefter said that the Washington Commanders and the 49ers had that trade in place. 49ers certainly happy now that that didn't happen. Now, you can also, I think, deduce from this that the 49ers, or the Washington Commanders wanted Jimmy Garoppolo more than Carson Wentz. That was their first option, and Wentz not doing too well today against the Eagles as we speak. So that all ended up working out for the 49ers. It didn't end up working out for Washington. They have Wentz right now. We have an idea of what the price would have been. It was a little bit of a complicated trade, I think, with a second-round pick swap and a seventh rounder involved, but it was essentially 2 third-round picks, one guaranteed third-rounder and a conditional third-rounder that went to Indianapolis from Washington. So we can surmise if Jimmy Garoppolo was Washington's top choice over Carson Wentz, we can surmise that the price for Jimmy Garoppolo, going back to the 49ers, would have been higher than 2 third-round picks, roughly. Also, since Carolina and Indianapolis were involved, there was a market there. But of course, the market was killed when Jimmy Garoppolo suffered that, well, he had already suffered that injury when he underwent that surgery. So this is Union Station in Denver. You can actually take the train all the way to the airport. And this is, basically right in the middle of downtown. Walking distance to Coors Field, all that good stuff. Maybe we could walk through Union Station. Might be pretty cool. Never done it before. So I'll walk that way. So the Rockies are playing right now against the Padres. 49ers play the Broncos. The Broncos stadium is not right downtown. I'm gonna have to take an Uber there. Well, Jimmy couldn't, I don't know what Max Settle is asking. Jimmy Garoppolo literally couldn't throw due to the shoulder surgery. Jimmy Garoppolo's got plenty of arm talent. He's got one of the quickest releases in the game, and you saw those throws outside the numbers. There's a truth bomb for you guys with Denver Union Station in the background. Do you know who led the league in completion percentage on throws of over 20 yards in the air in 2019? Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, let's keep on walking. The issue was he didn't have that many throws. He was 20 of 35 though. So it's about what Shanahan schemes. And sometimes I think that Shanahan has schemed the right stuff. I think most of the time he's schemed the right stuff. That's why Garoppolo's been so efficient. But there might be some efficiency that the 49ers can still attain if they let Garoppolo unleash the football a little bit like they did against Seattle after he came in for Trey Lance. All right, let's venture in. Ooh, nice. Look at these old benches. So this thing's been around for a while, and I think they like repurposed it. Obviously remodeled it. You can see that classic architecture here of Union Station. So Denver is on the up and up. You can actually get around on public transit, which is nice. Get to the airport, which is way out in the middle of nowhere. Look at that, though. Impressive. Good job, Denver. I've seen some 49ers fans out and about, and I'm going to some place called Machete. Supposedly they have really good Mexican food. Thank you. Oh, look at me holding the door open for people while I'm holding this camera out, man. Okay, so you guys probably want to see Denver more than me. We've walked through Union Station. Here you go, 49ers fans. That's some pretty cool architecture. A little European here. It ain't Grand Central, but it's Denver, and it's not bad. So this place Machete should be pretty close. I may have to check my maps here in a second. Again, it's a perfect day in Denver. It's in the 70s, it's dry, 0% chance of rain. Didn't think that was possible for a 49ers game this year, but good fast track for George Kittle in his first game of 2022. Jimmy Garoppolo, his first start of 2022. 49ers definitely like the conditions that will be present for Sunday Night Football tonight. There it is. This is where I'm gonna eat. Tequila Machete tacos. I think that means they have tequila and tacos. I think I'll have only one of those two. You guys can guess which one. About to find out if they give jaywalking tickets in Denver, Colorado. I know they do it in Seattle. I don't think that any real big city gives out jaywalking tickets, so that is my shot at Seattle. San Francisco definitely doesn't. All right, so we've made it from Union Station to where we're going to lunch here in Denver. This little street. I'm just gonna give you guys a peek into the restaurant, then we're gonna get going. Oh yeah. I think that's gonna be good. So let me wrap up the show. Anyway, those of you just joining, the big news this morning, and it wasn't really news, it was just clarity, much deserved clarity. Adam Schefter reported that Washington and the 49ers had an agreement for Jimmy Garoppolo to be traded to Washington until Jimmy Garoppolo got the shoulder surgery, which is exactly what John Lynch insinuated. He said that the 49ers had a trade partner lined up, which is exactly what I think Kyle Shanahan insinuated, which is exactly what anybody rational insinuated. Unfortunately, there was a whole lot of irrationality surrounding this whole discussion, and people thought that Jimmy Garoppolo simply wasn't being traded because nobody wanted him, but that wasn't true. The league was interested in him. There was a trade in place, and I'll tell you what, the 49ers, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good in your team planning, and the 49ers got lucky. They got lucky that Jimmy Garoppolo had a surgery that he needed. They might have been unhappy about it at the time, But now it certainly is something that helped out the 49ers, because if they didn't have Jimmy Garoppolo, the season would be over right now. So we'll see Jimmy against Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, not the Seattle Seahawks, in just a few hours here from Denver. Again, that's Union Station, downtown Denver. I'm about to go eat. So everybody take care. I'll be back live from the stadium tour coming up. So like the video, sub to the channel. By the way, we hit 20,000 subscribers last night. So thank you, everybody. Let's keep on building from here. 20K and upward. 49ers Broncos coming up here from Denver in just a bit. See you guys.